The Miami Gay Men's Chorus is a group of dedicated men passionate about music and having fun. The other day, I asked Sandy Allen, who is the membership director, and Anthony Cabrera, the artistic director, to stop by the WLRN studios to tell us about their special musical program that opens tonight. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, Paul, I want to just tell you how grateful we are to have been invited here. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you've got a great program coming up, and we want to talk all about it. But first, I wanted to ask a little bit about the history of the chorus. When did it start?
Well, we're in our 11th year right now. We celebrated, last season was our 10th year anniversary. It was started as the South Beach Gay Men's Chorus, and over time we have developed or spread into the Miami Gay Men's Chorus.
And how long Anthony, have you been involved with the chorus?
I've been the artistic director for the Miami Gay Men's Chorus since July of 2007, which makes this is the third season I'm with them, and I was a singing member prior to that.
You've got a very special program coming up May 21st through 23rd at the Colony Theater, celebrating the 95th anniversary of Miami Beach. There's a lot of activities going on. But I wanted to take our listeners through a little bit of a musical journey, as the program will be. So tell us about this program.
The program is called Miami Beach, A Twinkle in Time, and it alludes to the main character in our presentation, Miss Twinkleton, who is a character that saw her birth at our holiday concert 2 years ago in the program. Miss Twinkleton's School for Sensitive Boys presents the Nutcracker Men in Tights. That was the full title.
I bet it looked great on the marquee.
And so at this point, it's been a year and a half, almost 2 years, and Miss Twinkleton has given up on life, and she's ready to go. And she summons the angel of death, and her muses decide that it is not the right time for her to go, as she still has to continue to inspire the boys of the sensitive school. And besides that, they still have to put on Hello, Dolly, which, of course, she's playing Dolly Levi. She wouldn't be anyone else. And then in a very Charles Dickens fashion, she is visited by three ghosts and travels through the history of Miami Beach in song.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You've got my attention. So it also, so it touches on the history of Miami Beach, starting with Carl Fisher. Tell us a little bit about some of the songs, perhaps, that you're going to do. Musical treats.
The musical treats really involve addressing the different time periods. We were fortunate enough to get a grant from American Express to revive some old music, or music that hadn't been performed in a very long time, and we found three pieces that are being included in a medley at the beginning of the program. Among them, there's a piece called In Florida Among the Palms, written by Irving Berlin. I think it was 1919 for one of the Ziegfeld Folly shows. So it's a beautiful piece of music, and we've had those three pieces arranged by my assistant director and the accompanist to the chorus, Chris Lobdell, who's doing a wonderful job arranging music for us. And so those three pieces are included in there. And, of course, staples, Miami Beach Rumba and Moon Over Miami, and those kinds of pieces comprise the beginning of the program. And we move on through the 50s and 60s with the things that you would expect. Shangri-La and Three Coins in the Fountain are included in the program. A diva review of sorts for the 1970s, some Donna Summer, Gloria Gaynor.
It's all there.
It's all there.
Well, reading some of the information about this musical night, you also mentioned the era of Al Capone's arrival. Yeah. Tell me, how do you musicalize that?
Well, we start off with Carl Fisher, and as we portray him in the piece, he's a drunk, and Carl comes flying onto the stage on his bicycle, which he was notorious for riding around, and crashes into things. And as Carl is explaining to Miss Twinkleton how Miami Beach came about, we go into the 20s, and Al Capone is arriving because he's just bought his house on Star Island. And so Al Capone pulls Miss Twinkleton aside and thinks that Miss Twinkleton is his wife, May. And so there's a whole story that's wrapped around Al Capone trying to pick up Miss Twinkleton, or trying to woo her, I guess.
Okay, so we're moving through Al Capone, of course. What about the World War II stuff?
Well, we acknowledge that the beach was the most beautiful boot camp in the world during World War II, and we bring up a piece called G.I. Jive. It's a wonderful piece. It's a full chorus number, and that's how we pay tribute to that period of time on the beach.
With a brief brief viewing of the Andrew Sisters, as only we can do.
Oh, how wonderful! And so some scenes or songs, there guys are in costume or drag or.
Well, there are. Miss Twinkleton has three muses, and the three muses pop up throughout the from the 20s up until the end of the play, and they show up as the Andrew Sisters. They show up as Jackie Gleason. They show up as the Village People.
And don't give it all away.
Yeah.
Yes, you must come and see. Well, I was gonna ask about the Jackie Gleason and the Rat Pack stuff.
Yeah.
I bet that's a lot of fun to do too.
Yeah. To the moon, Alice, to the moon.
And I have to ask about Anita Bryant's cameo appearance in this show.
We're going to leave that as a little surprise.
Okay, all right, but she does make a cameo appearance.
She did make an appearance in Miami Beach, and she was greeted, and
and she will be duly greeted again.
Also, tell me if you can. It almost sounds like the producers with these little old ladies in lawn chairs,
yes.
A la producers, and they did that number with the walkers and the tap dance thing.
Well, one of the things that I grew up coming to the beach in the late 70s and the early 80s. And one of the things that was a staple on the beach at that time were the buildings that weren't quite there anymore. They were falling apart, but all of these little old ladies sitting on the porches in their aluminum chairs. And I felt it was really important to pay tribute to them and acknowledge that they were the original Sobe gals. They were the original party girls that had come to retire and to see the end of their life on the beach when they had visited and partied here in the 30s and the 40s. So we decided that they would be the most appropriate subject for the opening of the second act.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so it's a two-act, it's a full-out two-act kind of show here.
Absolutely.
Now I'm getting the picture of it. How many people are in the chorus? It must fluctuate, but...
Yeah, we have 75 singing members right now. It ebbs and flows each season. People come back, people come in, we get new people. We're always looking for new people to join the chorus. And so one of the great things about our chorus is that we don't audition. If you can sing in the shower, you can sing with us.
A no audition for a singing chorus.
Right. Well, we want to be all-inclusive.
I love it.
Yeah.
You love singing and you love music and people who love music and appreciate music, so everybody is welcome.
Absolutely, and there's a little bit of music for everybody. I mean, we've talked about the Rat Pack kind of music, the kind of 40s swing stuff, and the disco drag numbers and all of those kinds of things. But in this program, we have Mozart.
Nice.
We're paying a tribute to the New World Symphony Orchestra as the resident orchestra of the city of Miami Beach, doing a men's chorus arrangement of the Overture to the Marriage of Figaro. The opening piece in the concert is men's setting of the Lacrimosa from the Mozart Requiem. I mean, so.
So, Anthony, as artistic director, did you come up with this concept originally?
Yeah, they pay me to think. But it's definitely excuse me, it's definitely not a one-man show in that sense.
Sure.
I sit there and I enjoy my morning coffee in the silence of my living room while everyone's asleep, and I conjure up these things, and then I sit with my assistant director and I sit with Howard, our guy in charge of production, and then this blossoms and develops into these really funny shows, I think. And then I select music for it with a group of people, and for this case in particular, we've asked one of the members, Furman Rojas, to connect these pieces and to bring alive the history of Miami Beach in dialogue. So we asked people to write books for us so that we can tie all of this music together to give our audience that kind of experience. It
sounds like a wonderful evening.
It is.
I've had a great time talking to you guys. I'm so glad this is your debut on South Florida Arts Beat and on WLRN. Have we done anything anywhere over the years?
Time. This is our first time.
It only took 11 years, but we got to you.
Well, fantastic. We're
and hopefully not our last.
Definitely not. We'll definitely have you back. So, again, I want to thank Sandy Allen and Anthony Cabrera for coming on. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
And
thank
our pleasure
Paul.
being here as well.
The Miami Gay Men's Chorus performs Miami Beach, A Twinkle in Time, at the Colony Theater tonight and Saturday at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. Information at miamigaychorus.org. For South Florida Arts Beat, I'm Paul Leary.